Plantation. 9 to 5 be the time I was wasting. Man, I feel like I need a vacation. Saving up for my resignation. Why I feel like my manager hating. Ain't the one for no verbal castration. This government ain't giving reparation. We'll go to crime trying to fight the temptation.
Rejoice in tribulations, demonstrate patience in every situation, picking up the pieces to their heart restoration. People broken hearted and in need of salvation. Yeah. We in captivity, we done lost our history. Disconnected from his laws, now there's no integrity. Here's the book and let them see, because they dying in these streets. Walking in darkness, and where the carcass is, the eagles be. Walking in darkness, and where the carcass around us like vultures. Murder on their mind when they approach us. Let your light shine, watch them scatter like roaches. Babylon falling cause we taking back our culture. Heal our land, Abba now put us back in agriculture. This word burning them up, Romans is a flamethrower. We prophesy destruction, nukes coming, game over. International, continental, ballistic missile. Them bombs dropping like rain, no drizzle. The lake of fire make them sizzle. Showing fruits of the spirit, we don't gather figs of thistles. That's the dog, you know, so just like you were saying.
Hey, my name is Amani Bright Laws. I'm a travel business owner. My business is Always Shine Bright Travel, where we help you discover your next bright destination. I want to talk to you really quickly today about becoming a travel business owner. Listen, if your passion is traveling, if your passion is exploring the world, if your passion is wanting to travel and explore the world, then you should become a travel business owner, okay? I have 2 easy ways to get started. Less than 1 minute, okay? The first way, up here, our website, travelagentworkshop.com. And please use my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? The second way is a text code. Text the word workshop to the number 281-767-9711. And again, reference my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? Listen. The workshop is free. It's a free 3-day workshop, which gives you all the information on how to get started to become a travel business owner. Okay. Any questions that you have will get answered within that workshop. Okay. So let me meet you on the money making side of travel, where you can turn your passion into your paycheck.
Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy Chef D-Nail. Over here, guess who's cooking? Good cooking, good eating, good living. Y'all know how we do it every Sunday about this time, man. We're going to get straight to it. We got the chicken and dumplings, all right? We got the perch fish with the mac and cheese, with the yams, with the 5 cheese toast over here on the Texas side. And, of course, we got the world-famous turkey tips, all right? We also got, on this one, we got the greens with the turkey tails, and we got the spaghetti. You already know what time it is, man. Hit the link, 992-4737 is the phone number to place your order every Sunday. All right. And you can hit us up on the Cash App to make payments at Guess Who's Cooking, the number 2. All right. You can hit the www.guesswho'scooking on the World Wide Web. You can catch us on Facebook Marketplace under Guess Who's Cooking. And, of course, on TikTok, man, at Guess Who's Cooking. Come on down. Get your orders.
Give me shame, I give you peace from underneath. Give me mind and being light to reignite. Can you open up the doors to let me in? Can you open up the doors to let me in? You could put the heart inside, don't tap my head. I can sing the love inside from out my mouth. Tell me what you need to find. Tell me now. Tell me what you need to find.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, as for touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth out unto me, and the souls of the just.
Should like Ryan, you devil's not my friend. Should like Ryan, you devil's gonna die. Just wait until the Most High crack the sky. Young lion here lifting praises so high. To the Most High I'm praying, reaching out to the sky. With every step I take I'm straight, bold, bringing the word. Roaring for your wish our division will be heard. Yo, it's the young lion rising up just with the light. In the land of the living, man, I'm ready to fight. With my heart full of faith, my spirit on fire. I'm praising Yahweh and Yahweh shall my true desire. From the roots of my people, I'm standing 10 toes down. With the wisdom of ages, I'm bringing truth to sound. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, I'm calling your name. In the midst of the struggle, I'll never feel ashamed. Through the trials and the pain, I'm holding up my head. With the shield of the spirit, I'm breaking down the dreads. From the streets to the mountain, just let the truth be told. With the fire in my bones, I'm never left cold. You devils cold-blooded with the spiritual sword of fire. You heathens gon' be gutted, and guess when none is rutted? I'm walking with my brethren, united always stand. In the light of his glory, we shaking up them lands. Young lion here lifting praises so high. To the Most High I'm praying, reaching out to the sky. With every step I take I'm straight, bold, bringing the word. Roaring for Yahweh, our division will be heard. Young lion here lifting praises so high. To the Most High I'm praying, reaching out to the sky. With every step I take I'm straight, bold, bringing the word. Roaring for Yahweh, our division will be heard. We rise from the ashes, we shine like the sun. In the name of our Lord, his battle axe is won. With unity and strength, we'll never be divided. In Yahweh Shai kingdom, man, we stay abided. We speaking of war, with the elect is gonna be guided. With a sword in our hands, we keeping it 100 grands. You devils bubble burst, we stash you in a hearse. You mad when you realize that you really cursed. Brought down to the grave and now you're resurrected. Home of the brave, and now you became our slave. Brought down to the grave and now you're resurrected. Home of the brave, and now you became our slave. Young lion here lifting praises so high. Okay. Shalom, shalom. All right, here we go. Hey, shalom, shalom, family. How about Shemya Shabrakadu? Another HOI Thursday night class. Hopefully, brothers and sisters doing well, throughout the week. It was a beautiful Pentecost we had recently, mighty feast days, and some great edification from the Tuesday class and also the Wednesday yesterday from the brother Sadia, HOI Wednesday night news. So we just keeping it going, family. Definitely, hopefully y'all get edified as well today. So once again, all praise Yahweh Shem Shah's brother Ahrayah. I'm coming at y'all with a topic today, talking about why do Muslims keep Eidaladha, right? So Eidaladha, a lot of people don't know what that is, so we'll get into it ASAP. Let me show y'all what it is. And yeah, I got all this stuff, King. I got the laptop. All praises, man. I got the laptop. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see what is Eidaladha. All right. Let's get into it. Share this real quick. Okay. So I'm gonna start off with this video. It's basically gonna give you an explanation what is Eidaladha. It's a big holiday that a lot of Muslims worldwide celebrate, right? And I want to give y'all some information based on the stuff that's gonna come out with this video. Is gonna show y'all that this whole world is built upon deception, is built upon the hatred against the children of Israel. Like we always say with Psalms 83. There's nations have a perpetual hatred against us. And we always talk about Esau, like Psalms 83, the Lord always mentioned Esau first throughout the list. But right next to Esau, number 2 is Ishmael, right? So let's just go through this video real quick and let me show you what we're talking about.
Muslims all over the world are celebrating one of the most sacred and meaningful days in Islam. It's called Eidaladha. But what is Eidaladha really about? And why is it such a big deal? Eidaladha is known as the Festival of Sacrifice, and it goes back thousands of years into the incredible story of Prophet Ibrahim, or Abraham, peace be upon him. One night, Ibrahim had a dream. In it, Allah commanded him to sacrifice his beloved son, Ismail. Imagine that. The son he waited for, the one he loved most. This wasn't just any test. It was the ultimate test of faith. And without hesitation, Ibrahim submitted to Allah's will. He told his son about the dream. And astonishingly, Ismail, still a boy, said, "Do what you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, to be patient." They both walked to the place of sacrifice. Ibrahim laid his son down. And as he was about to carry out the command, Allah stopped him. It was only a test of obedience, a test of trust. And Ibrahim passed it with flying colors. Instead, Allah sent down a ram from the heavens to be sacrificed in Ismail's place. And from that moment on, Muslims remember this act of faith and devotion every single year during Eid al-Adha. On this day, Muslims around the world sacrifice an animal, usually a sheep, goat, cow, or camel, to honor that legacy. But it's not about the meat. It's about submission to God, gratitude, and charity. The meat is divided into 3 parts. One for your family, one for relatives and friends, and one for the poor. It's a time of giving, a time of sharing, a time of remembering that everything we have comes from Allah, and that faith sometimes means giving up what's most beloved to us. But Eid isn't just about sacrifice. It's also a day of celebration. Muslims dress in their best clothes, attend the Eid prayer in large gatherings, visit loved ones, give gifts, and spread joy. It's a moment of unity across nations, cultures, and languages. So if you see Muslims celebrating right now, smiling, hugging, sharing food, they're not just having a party. They're honoring one of the greatest acts of submission in history. They're remembering a father and a son, both willing to give up everything for the sake of God. And they're reminding themselves and the world that true faith is not just words. It's trust, it's sacrifice, it's love. That's the story of Eid al-Adha. That's what Muslims are celebrating right now.
Okay, so Eid al-Adha, right? So now I want to show y'all all the people that's celebrating it. For example, I'm from New York. Shout out to the Knicks, but you know what I'm saying? Let's get the chip, goddamn, but no folly. Let me see. Madani, right? Madani, president or mayor of New York. So this is Madani. I'm gonna show you on the screen. This is Madani, the mayor of New York, right? Who's also participating in this celebration, which was started yesterday, Eid al-Adha, right? So now Madani, look at him right here. So they said New York Mayor Zohran Madani shows Arsenal pride at Eid celebration ahead of World Cup, right? So this is Madani, right? The mayor of New York, Ishmael, right? So now, let me show you this one right here. New York City Mayor Zohran Madani brings football and fashion together in an Arsenal thobe for Eid celebration, right? So this is Madani right here, Ishmael, celebrating their holiday, right? You got some brothers over there too. I think probably Ham right there and probably Jake right there, right? So you got Madani right here. Now, let me show you Eid al-Adha celebration. So now, here we go right here. So another picture right here I'm going to show y'all. Hundreds gathered for Eid al-Adha in downtown Santa Rosa, right? Let's see. Let me show you this. All right, let me share the screen right here. So you can see it. The first one I was showing was Madani, right? So this is Madani that was celebrating Eid al-Adha, right? And he got everybody around him. He got Jake, he got Ham mixed in and all of that stuff, right? So they all celebrating Eid, right? So now, let me show you this next picture right here. Right here. Hundreds are gathered for Eid al-Adha in downtown as well to Santa Rosa, right? So many examples. Now, the thing with this holiday, this is celebrated worldwide by all Muslims, right? Worldwide by all Muslims. All right, let me take this one out. Now, I want to show y'all there's a big contradiction, because while millions of people all throughout the world are celebrating this holiday, all of it is based on lies, right? What do I mean by that? Let's go into the scriptures real quick. Let's go to Genesis chapter 22. Come on. So this is Genesis chapter 22 and verse number 1. It said, and it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, behold, here I am. So if people's not familiar, Genesis 22 is a story with Abraham and Isaac, right? And he said, take now thy son, thy only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains, which I will tell thee, right? So now the Lord said, take thy son, thy only son. Now, remember, in the book of Genesis, chapter 17, right? Who was born first? Was it Isaac or was it Ishmael? Right? Let's get that real quick. In Genesis chapter 17, let's see. Okay. All right, here we go. So this is Genesis chapter 17, right? In verse number 1. It says, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God, walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thy seed exceedingly. Right? And Abraham fell on his face, and God talked with him, and saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but by thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. Right? And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. Right? So if you just keep on reading on down, basically the Lord is speaking with Abraham about the covenant he's going to make with Isaac. Right? But while he's talking about he's going to make a covenant with Isaac, who was still born, who was still alive during that time before Isaac was born? Right? Let's jump all the way down to verse number 18. And Abraham said unto God, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. Right? And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee, behold, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful, and I will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. Right? So from Genesis 15 and 16 on down to 17, the story with Hagar and Ishmael, right? And the situation that happened with Hagar, got beat down by Sarah, and then she tried to run away, and the Lord said he's gonna bless her with the son. Well, basically was Ishmael, right? So Ishmael was born first. Isaac came in after, right? So now, when the Lord said, take thou thy only son in Genesis 22, the reason why he said, take thou thy only son, because the Lord had Abraham kick out Ishmael already, right? So Ishmael was no longer part of the covenant that the Lord already set up from the beginning. It was between Abraham and Isaac. It wasn't between Abraham and Ishmael. Now, Ishmael has a different covenant, but the covenant the Lord gave him was that he's going to make him a great nation. But the promises, the kingdom, and all things belongs unto Isaac on down to his son, Jacob. Right? So let me show y'all this part real quick. Once again, shalom, shalom, family. Khan. Yeah, like the sister was saying, yeah, Ishmael was born first. Khan. So now, he said he's going to bless Ishmael, but the covenant is back with Isaac, for everlasting covenant, right? So now, remember the video we was talking about when they said al-Adha, you know, the sacrifice was about Ishmael and all of that stuff, right? Now, look what's funny. We're going to go to their Quran, and I want to show y'all Surah 37. Go to this one. And we'll go back to the video as well, too. But I want to show y'all Surah 37. Okay, here we go. All right. So this is Surah 37, verse 100, right? Or Surah al-Safat, right? So now, if people was asking, where do you find where they say Ishmael was sacrificed in the Quran and all of that stuff? More than likely is in Surah 37, right? But now, when you read Surah 37, you're going to see there's something there that's missing, right? So Surah 37 in verse number 100. It says, my Lord, grant me a child from among the righteous. So this is them speaking about Abraham. So we gave him good tidings of a forbearing boy, right? And when he reached with him the age of exertion, he said, oh, my son, indeed, I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you. So see what you think. He said, oh, my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, or of steadfast. So when they had both submitted and he put him down upon his forehead, we called to him, O Abraham, you have fulfilled the vision indeed. We thus reward the doers of good. Indeed, this was the clear trial, and we ransomed him with a great sacrifice, and we left for him favorable mention among later generations. Now, you're going to find out as you go in comparison between the Quran and the Bible has all the details. The Quran doesn't. Right? The Quran kind of like skips through certain stories and all of that. right? It basically plagiarized, right? So let me show y'all the next page. Let me show y'all this one. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to start at 37. So the 37, verse 105. It says, you have fulfilled the vision. Indeed, we thus reward the doers of good. Indeed, this was the clear trial, right? What is the trial they're talking about? Him sacrificing his son. We ransomed him with a great sacrifice, and we left for him favorable mention among later generations. Peace be upon Abraham. Indeed, we thus reward the doers of good. Indeed, he was of our believing servants, and we gave him good tidings of Isaac, a prophet from among the righteous, right? So when we read Surah 37, verse 100 on down to verse 112, it never mentioned Ishmael, nowhere at all, right? It never mentioned the name Ishmael, right? But let me show y'all this as well, too. It only mentioned Isaac towards the end, which was verse 112 right here. Good tidings to Isaac. But it never mentioned Ishmael all throughout this story, right? Now, if we go to Genesis 22, let's go to Genesis 22. All right, so we're at Genesis 22, and we'll read the verse number 2. And he said, take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him. Right? Which God had told him. Then on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you. Right? So this is basically Abraham telling Isaac to wait. Right? And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hands and a knife, and they went both of them together. Right? And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father and said, my father. And he said, here I am, my son. And he said, behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? Right? Keep in mind the key word with lamb for a burnt offering. And Abraham said, my son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. And he came to the place which God had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in the order and bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hands and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, here I am. And he said, lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. Right? So all throughout it's showing you it's only dealing with Abraham and Isaac. Right? From the beginning, from verse 1 and 2, it says thy only son, Isaac. Right? And Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh. He didn't say Allah. Right? He said Jehovah Jireh, or how we say Yahweh, right? Yahweh Yarah, right? As it is said to this day, in the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time and said, by myself have I sworn, saith the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, as the sand which is upon the seashore. And thy seed shall possess the gates of his enemies, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba, right? So this is Genesis 22. This is the actual story from the situation with Abraham and Isaac, right? So remember, this is Genesis 22 in the Bible. Now, once again, if we go back to the Quran, let's go back to the Quran. if we go back to the Quran, this is Surah 37, right? Surah al-Safat. If we go back to the Quran, right, and you keep reading, my Lord, grant me a child from among the righteous. So he gave him good tidings of a forbearing. So when he reached with him the age of exertion, he said, "O my son, indeed I have seen in the dream that I must sacrifice you. So see ye what ye think." So, "O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me if Allah wills of the steadfast." When they had both submitted and he put him down upon his forehead, we called to him Abraham. So if you notice, look at the comparison with the Bible and the Quran, how detailed it is in the Bible, right? Where it shows Abraham gathering the wood, walking his son up to the mountain, right? It shows intricate details in the Bible compared to the Quran. And the Quran is kind of like they're speeding things up. Now, as you keep on reading down, nowhere in this is it mentioned that Ishmael was the sacrifice at all, right? But they got millions of people today lying on Abraham, saying that Abraham was attempting to sacrifice Ishmael, right? They say Abraham was attempting to sacrifice Ishmael. Millions of people today is celebrating Eidaladha, and they thinking that Abraham actually tried to sacrifice Ishmael. But it was actually Isaac that he was attempting to sacrifice. So you got millions of people today that is literally celebrating a holiday that's a lie. All right. Now, I'm going to show y'all another one real quick. Right, Khan. They lied about the whole thing and said the Bible is corrupt. Right, Khan, Macabre, you're right. So let me show you another example right here. Let me get this picture right here. Here we go. All right, so this right here is talking about Eidaladha, right? This is the celebration they started yesterday. Feast of the Sacrifice, right? Feast of the Sacrifice. In the second of the two main festivals in Islam, alongside Eid al-Fitr, it falls on the 10th of Dhul-Hijjah, right? The 12th and the final month of Islamic calendar. Celebrations and observance are generally carried forward to the 3 following days, known as Tashriq days, right? So this is Eid al-Adha, showing examples. And like we said earlier with the video, making a sacrifice for the lambs and everything, right? Now, where's it at right here? All right, here we go. Eid al-Adha, depending on country and language, is also called the greater or large Eid. As with Eid al-Fitr, the Eid prayer is performed on the morning of Eid al-Adha, after which the Adha, or the ritual sacrifice of the livestock animal, is performed. In Islamic tradition, pay attention to this. In Islamic tradition, it honors the willingness of Abraham to sacrifice his son as an act of obedience to God's command, right? So, all right, it says Abraham is sacrificing his son, right? Now, look what it says. Depending on the narrative, either Ishmael or Isaac are referred to with the honorific title of sacrifice of God, right? Pilgrims performing the Hajj typically perform the Tawaf and Saif of Hajj on Eid al-Adha, along with the ritual stoning of the devil on the Eid day and the following days, right? So what is it showing you? It says depending on the narrative, because it's two different narratives. Either Ishmael or Isaac are referred to with the honorific title sacrifice of God. So even when you look it up, they're not even sure who was the actual sacrifice of between Ishmael and Isaac for their holidays. Ain't that crazy? They're not even sure. But what came first, the Bible or the Quran? The Bible's literally giving you the details in Genesis 22 that Abraham was attempting to sacrifice his only son, Isaac, at the time, right? But today, 2026, you got millions of people all throughout the world celebrating a holiday that's built on lies and deception of our forefather Abraham and Ishmael. All throughout the scriptures always try to find a way to steal our heritage, always. Now, if a Muslim come and he's like, hey, but the Quran said we're supposed to, you know, this is our story, this is our holiday. Yeah, but let's see what your Quran says as well. Let's see what else your Quran says. Right? So this is in the Quran. This is Surah. Let me put it right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. God says, yeah, they're a bunch of liars. They're a bunch of liars. All throughout the Bible, it showed intricate details. Genesis 22, that the Lord sent Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. But in their Quran, Surah 37, right? Surah Safat, right? It says that they didn't even put the name Ishmael, but everybody today is believing it's Ishmael when in the Bible it was talking about Isaac. And remember the covenant in Genesis chapter 17 and verse in chapter 19 as well. The Lord said what? He's going to bless Ishmael and make him a great nation, but the everlasting covenant, the prophets and the promises, everything belongs to who? It belongs to Isaac and his seed, right? So let's get this real quick. This is in the Quran, Surah Nas, right? Surah Yunus, right? So that's Surah 10. So I'm just giving y'all the numbers, y'all know what to look at. Surah 10 and verse 94, right? So look what it says, right? So I'm reading English. It says, so if you are in doubt, O Muhammad, about that which we have revealed to you, then ask those who have been reading the scripture before you. The truth have certainly come to you from your Lord, so never be among the doubters. So what is their Quran saying? If a Muslim is in doubt with their Quran, if they're confused, because remember, in Surah 37, it said it was a sacrifice. Abraham made a sacrifice, and a lot of Muslims believe that the sacrifice was of Ishmael. But it don't say that in their Quran. But if you go to the Bible, it actually shows you who the actual sacrifice was that Abraham was attempting was who? Was Isaac. So now for a Muslim, if their Quran is telling them, if you're in doubt of your Quran, because that story is a contradiction now. You know what I'm saying? The story for them in Surah 37, right? Surah Safat is a contradiction right now. Because once again, what came first? The Bible. So even in their Quran, they're telling you are in doubt, go back to the people that were of the scriptures. Who are the people of the scriptures? The children of Israel. Okay? Let's see. So let's get this real quick. Let me go back to Eidaladha. Let's go back to this video real quick.
Celebrating one of the most sacred and meaningful days in Islam. Now, Muslims all over the world are celebrating one of the most sacred and meaningful days in Islam. It's called Eidaladha. But what is Eidaladha really about? And why is it such a big deal? Eidaladha is known as the Festival of Sacrifice, and it goes back thousands of years into the incredible story of Prophet Ibrahim, or Abraham, peace be upon him. One night, Ibrahim had a dream. In it, Allah commanded him to sacrifice his beloved son, Ismail. Imagine that. The son he waited for, the one he loved most. This wasn't just any test.
But yeah, see now? In their Quran, it in nowhere is said specifically Ishmael. Specifically. It didn't even tell you either one of his sons just to make it easy. No. Nowhere in their Quran it says specifically Ishmael. But that's what everybody take and run with it. That's how bad Ishmael want to steal our covenant and our blessings. Right? All these nations, they want everything that we got. It's like that saying with let me look this up real quick. I heard this term past 2 months, and I'm like, never heard this before, right? Let me find this real quick. This is what Ishmael want to do with us. This is literally what Ishmael want to do. Not just all these nations, but boy, Ishmael, boy. Let me see. All right, I'll go with this video right here. Slocky. You see that? Just sign number one. They're trying to get into your life. Ishmael lacks identity. They want our identity. They want to be the chosen people of God. Right? Let me show y'all this real quick, man. They want to be the chosen people of God so bad. The Lord already blessed them with being a great nation. They got the 12 princes. They got the oils and all of that stuff. They want to be us so bad, right? But look at this. It says, this is Surah 2:122, Surah al-Baqarah, right? It says, O children of Israel, remember my favor upon you and how I honored you above the others, right? So in their Quran, it says their own quote unquote Allah honored us above everybody else, above the others, right? Now there's a different translation that's going to make it even more. Let me see, where's this one at? Where are you? Look at this. There's a translation right here. Dafim commentary. It says, children of Israel, recall my favor which I bestowed upon you, and I exalt you above the nations of the world. All right. Children of Israel, remember how I bless you and favor you over other people. Right. Children of Israel, remember my blessing that I conferred upon you and that I gave you excellence over the worlds. Now, once again, what came first, the Bible or the Quran? The Bible came first. So now, where do they get this verse from? Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. Deuteronomy chapter 7. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse number 6. So it says, Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse number 6. It says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Bible, which came first, already had the scripture in there. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. The Lord already made that covenant and said that the children of Israel will be above all nations of the earth, right? But in their Quran, with Surah 2:122, Surah al-Baqarah, right? They literally trying to steal everything that we got. It's destiny swap, basically. Right? Oh, children of Israel, remember how I blessed you and favored you over other people. Children of Israel, recall my favor which I bestowed upon you, and I exalted you above the nations of the world. So if the Quran is saying that the children of Israel were exalted above the nations of the world, guess who's also part of those worlds? Ishmael. Right? Same as Moab, same as Ammon. It says basically above all nations of the world. And they get it from where? Our Bible. They literally plagiarize our book. And then Surah 1094, it tells you basically for the Muslims, if you got confusion in your Quran, you don't understand certain things, go back to the people of the scriptures. Who are the people of the scriptures? Us, the Israelites. Right? Show you this right there. Khan, sis. Khan, they literally try to destiny swap. They're trying to steal everything that we got. Everything. Even stole the story of Abraham and Isaac and switched it up and said Ishmael. Right? So number one, what do? They try to reverse themselves.
Individual's life is with you. Sign number 1. They try to get immediate access to your life. Anyone who is willing and ready to immerse themselves into another individual's life is showing that they lack a sense of identity.
And what does this tie into? If y'all read the book of Babylon and Timbuktu, it showed you Muhammad. He was always around us. He was a camel driver. So he always stood around us, and whatever we was doing, he would copy it. Right? Cultural appropriation, culture vulture. He would copy everything that we did as Israelites. Praying towards the east, towards Jerusalem, praying 3 times a day. He upped it up to 5, right? The holidays that we had, the holy days that we had, even our Day of Atonement, they changed that up and put that for them as well too, for Ramadan, right? Everything we did, these damn Ishmaelites try to steal our identity. Everything that we did. And they won't even try to share our covenant with us. They try to put us as their slaves. Like, this is crazy. Right? Even the way the women dress, modest and all of that, our sisters was dressing like that first. Beautiful, comely daughters of Zion in 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. Modest apparel. Right? We was warriors. ancient garments, and warriors with arms, warlike apparel and everything. The meat tree that I got on, that everybody thinking that Ishmael's the first one. Nah, this is part of our customs. We have all of this. But in the times that we in now, 2026, after the Lord said in Jeremiah 17, discontinue us from our heritage and all of that stuff, we lost our way, lost our identity, and all these other nations been eating off of us the whole time, stealing from us. And now when we wear our clothing and our customs as Israelites today, people looking at us like we copycats. We dress with our garments with the girdle, with the armbands and the matrix and the menorah chains and everything. And niggas thinking we Muslims. The hell is this? Ain't got no problem, but they mocking us. How we dressing. Hey, you looking like Power Rangers, but y'all not mocking the Muslims. You know, everything is backwards in these times, man. And this is literally what Ishmael is trying to do. Destiny swap. Like, this is crazy. God says. All right. Let's get this real quick. Let me show this video.
Number 2, they love bomb you. They will use excessive flattery and sometimes don't mind extending kind gestures in the beginning. This is because they are trying to weaken your defenses so you will not put up any resistance. Sign number 3, they will copy you. Once this...
You heard what it said? It says they will weaken, they will love bomb you to weaken your resistance. Right? So they could come near you and steal your identity and all of this stuff. Right? Now look at this. Look at this, man. Lord of mercy. Look at this right here. So what the video said, they will love bomb you, get near you, and all of this stuff, right? So they get close to you and steal your identity and everything, right? Now look at this. This is Surah 551, right? Surah al-Mahdi, right? It says, oh, this is their Quran. This is in their Quran. It says, oh, believers, take neither Jews nor Christians as guardians. They are guardians of each other. Whoever does so will be counted as one of them. Surely Allah does not guide the wrongdoing people, right? So what is that talking about? They can't be friends with us at all. We're not supposed to be friends with them at all. All right? We're not supposed to be allies with them at all. And why it says Jews and Christians? Because what's funny about it is what? The actual Christians that people was thinking about, like in Acts chapter 13, Acts 11 and 26, that was called niggers, were the actual Jews who are who? The Israelites. Right? So they looking at like whatever sect you want to be called, a Jew or a Christian nigga, whatever. Ishmael's like, don't be friends with them at all. Right? But what they will do, hey, Assalamu alaikum, hey, kefala, right? They'll say something nice and everything to try to lower down your guard so they can learn your ways. Once they learn our ways, then they'll find a way to finesse us as a people. They do that all the time. And that's part of destiny swapping. And that's crazy. That's literally what this Ishmaelite been trying to do the whole time. Right?
Defenses, they will start to... Sign number 3, they will copy you. Once this person has gained access or successfully weakened your defenses, they will start to copy your hairstyle, choice of clothing, hobbies, and other attributes. They are emulating you in hopes of taking your place. Sign number 4, they will infiltrate...
You heard what it said? They're going to copy your hairstyle, your clothing. That's what I was saying earlier. The way Ishmael dressed, how they have their women dressed in the garments and all of that stuff, that's our sisters. That's us as a people. That's how we dressed. Mighty, royal. We had different materials. We had the linen, right? Able to keep us cool in the summer and all of that stuff. That's our people. That's how we dress. That's all throughout the scriptures. Lord said, put on your beautiful garment, Isaiah chapter 52. Right? Even with the priests in the book of Exodus, told them how to dress with the matrices, you know, with the girdles and everything, and the long garments and all that. That's how we dress as a people. And now today, we dress Israelite custom. People think we Muslims, right? Because the Muslims try to steal what belongs to us. It said they will literally look like you, dress like you, try to act like you, just to steal your identity. Even the elder talk about it. We always made this joke. He said Ishmael's the new Ephraim. You know, they come over here to America, they start to dress like us, try to talk like us, act like us. That's culture vulture right there. Right? And now 2026, we got to fight for our right to be identified as the children of God.
Infiltrate your social circle. A person inflating you in hopes of taking your place. Sign number 4, they will infiltrate your social circle. A person who is trying to destiny swap with you will do everything in their power to befriend your social group and gain favor with others who are fond of you. This is because they plan to taint those people's perception of you by causing division and creating gossip. Sign number 5, they will become hostile. Once a person has successfully gained access to and acquired enough information about you to attempt a destiny swap, they will become more hostile and rude. This is also a time where they will attempt to replace you. If they feel that they have successfully completed their mission, their snake-like character will start to show. It may blindside you, but the reality is this was this person's character all along. This phase is similar to the discard phase in the narcissistic abuse cycle. Once someone believes they have successfully destiny swapped, they will discard the person they emulated. Those were the—
Oh my God, you see that? Isn't that what Muhammad did? Once he learned the ways of an Israelite and how we did things, how we did our feast days. Slacky, let me find this joint real quick, man. Let me find this real quick. Once he learned our ways, talk about a damn thief. Find this one, Muhammad. Okay, I got it. Yeah, once this dude learned our ways, the customs and everything, learn how we pray, which direction, all of that stuff, learn about our holy days, Day of Atonement and all of this stuff, the Passover that we had, they switched it up and then he put, Ramadan, mixed it all in. Day of Pentecost, which they switched up and put as the night of power. Once they learned our ways, they took everything that we had and tried to force us into their religion, into Islam. Right? Let's see. Let me get this one right here. Not specific. All right, here we go. This one right here. Babylon to Timbuktu. Yeah, Salaki family. Let me put this picture up. Let me just play this video.
The 5 signs someone is trying to destiny swap with you. If someone is trying to or has started destiny swapping attempts against you, take note of these signs. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.
Right, so let me put
premium
this
cuts of meat without the premium prices.
It's an old.
Let me share this one right here. All right, so this is another example I want to show y'all. This ties into that book with Babylon and Timbuktu, and they got this other one as well. Put this. All right, if y'all can see the screen. Con, what this is, let me see. Right, they don't really like you. Con, like the sister was saying, they don't really like you, but get close to you to find out your ways. And when you figure them out, then they try to distort your image to other people. Right, that's a narcissist. Right, that's a narcissist. And what else? It says other people, like they do with us now, make people believe we're all like what they display on TV. Right, and that's what the stereotypes. Right. They say niggas love watermelon, all of this. But you know what's funny? They said niggas just love chicken and watermelon. But they took something that's positive and turned it into a negative. Like, for example, I did some research on watermelon, and listen, bro, we grew watermelon as a people, and I'm growing one right now, right? The watermelon, it took like less than 3 months to grow, right? And within a watermelon, it has damn near about 50 seeds in a watermelon. So we're just growing one watermelon. You got 50 seeds in that one watermelon. You can grow 50 more. And within each watermelon is 50 or more seeds in it, right? Did you know that with us growing watermelon, we damn near was crippling Esau's economy? We're just growing watermelon. We damn near was crippling this devil's economy. Why? Because the watermelon is a superfood, is a superfruit. Has water in it, nutritious and everything, and all of that stuff. It's healthy, right? And as well, it grows fast. And then plus, we was bartering with each other as a nation, as a people within each neighborhood. Person grew rice, and we would trade rice, watermelon, so on and so forth, right? Chicken, beans, whatever, and all of this stuff, right? We didn't need this damn devil. We didn't have to depend on this devil. We kept things amongst ourselves. We was doing so good with growing watermelon as a business that he had to create a caricature. This devil had to create a caricature mocking us because of us eating watermelon. When the watermelon was already good for us, it was positive, it was healthy for us and all of that stuff. So he had to mock us and create a caricature and try to shame us for us doing something positive within ourselves as a nation. And he was mad. Why? Because he couldn't get in. He couldn't get a cut of it. He couldn't get a cut of it. So he was pissed off. He was mad, right? Same as with chicken. We have farms and all of this stuff, right? Come like they do with us now. Come, beautiful point, sis. But back to the point. If you ever read the book Babylon and Timbuktu, it talks about Muhammad and all his damn thieving stuff he was doing and stealing our culture, history, heritage, and all of that, and remixed it and created Islam and all of that stuff. That's in Babylon to Timbuktu, right? But I want to show you a quick example of these damn devils. Let me show you this real quick. Right? So it says Islam is like the 7th century all the time. The Arabs are the children of Abraham by the Egyptian Hagar, right? We know that in Genesis, who live apart from the tribes of Israel, and became pagans, right? They worship hundreds of deities. The big black box now called the Kaaba, Arabic for cube, was filled with images of their deities. So this is talking about Ishmael, right? He was the wild man. He was worshiping hundreds of pagan gods and all of this stuff, right? One of the which was called Allah. So one of their deities was called Allah. A moon deity, right? A moon god, which is pagan, right? Asherah was a moon deity of the Canaanites, the same Canaanites that the Lord sent us over to their land to wipe their behinds out and to take over the land. And Jericho, which is Jericho, was a major seat of her followers. Asherah is like Asherah, and Allah are the same deity. They're just same demon pagan gods with different names. Muhammad declared Allah to be the greatest of the deities. The moon symbol is prominent in this religion. Islam means submission. Muhammad was born in the midst of the pagan Arabs. And his clan watch over the Kaaba, a cube about 35 feet on each side. Inside the cube are hundreds of idols worshipped by means of cults, prostitutes who made pilgrimage to Mecca. Right? So let me scroll on down. So let's talk about Muhammad and Ishmael, right? The things they already had was of paganism, like with the Kaaba. The Lord told us in the book of Exodus. Let's get it real quick. That's why these damn demons want to destiny swap with us, the children of God, and they want to try to implement the laws and the commandments from our Bible, but they don't have the spirit to keep any of them because it wasn't meant for them, right? They could try to copycat, same as with Amalek, but it's not meant for them. So when you talk about with the Kaaba stone, right? Exodus chapter 20 and verse number 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. In bondage, you talk about Egypt, boy. Ishmael with the damn sub-Saharan slave trade, right? The Arab slave trade. You talk about bondage. They had us in chains, and they was turning most of the men into eunuchs. They was cutting off the privy members so that the men won't sleep with no other women to try to have more children, right? Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me. Right? So this was in Exodus chapter 20. So the Lord said, us as a people are not supposed to bow down to no other gods, no graven images, whatever, stones or whatever. So now, if you go back to this picture right here, Khan, you're like Yeshaya was saying, Khan, they'll try to get close to you once they know so much stuff about you, information, that they're going to try to backstab you, right? But look right here. The Lord said, don't bow down to no other gods before him. But you got people bowing down to this Kaaba and praising Allah. And this Kaaba stone, that's paganism, right? That's paganism. But our people, millions of people is taking this trip to Mecca. They call it Hajj, the trip, like the pilgrimage trip, like how we supposed to take that trip to Jerusalem as a people. Everything we do, these damn Ishmaelites stole everything we got. Right? Everything we do, they steal everything that we do, man. So they bowing down to this Kaaba stone. That's paganism. And that's a sin against God. That's blasphemy. And then he talking about Allah as a moon god and all that. Then the Lord said, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven, or worshiping the stars or the suns and the moon. Right? Well, that's what Ishmael does. That's part of his custom. That's part of his heritage. But our people today is millions of our people that's blacks and Hispanics and American that's in the cult of Islam. And that culture of Islam even celebrating the Eidaladha today. Right? Most of them was celebrating Ramadan. I seen one nigga slide. I seen one dude, he had a damn long Muslim garment with the Knicks jersey. I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. Our people is mixing in worldly ways with spiritual aspects of things. Let me show you this in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's get Deuteronomy 28. Man, you talk about destiny swap, boy. And then when we tell them we the chosen people of God, everybody looking at us like we crazy. But their own book tell them, any issues you got, confusion in the book, go back to the people of the scriptures, which is who? Us, right? So Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse number 64. This was part of the curse the Lord said was going to be put on us. And why the Lord put these curses on us as a people? Because we have sinned against Yahweh Hashem Shah, right? So now even our enemies is laughing at us, even trying to steal our identity, our culture, and our customs, even making fun of our forefathers and foremothers as well. You think Abraham ain't mad? Everybody today trying to celebrate a fake holiday off of him and lying on him. You think he ain't pissed off? Right? You think Sarah ain't pissed off? How much stress she must have been going through? Abraham about to sacrifice Isaac. And stress she's going through and all of that. Think she's about to lose her son. But doing it for the good of the Lord. Right? And now Ishmael is the one everybody's giving all the credit to, who was kicked out. Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Our people wasn't following the ways of Allah or Islam and all of that before. Right? Before the ways of Muhammad. We were keeping the laws and commandments as Israelites. When that damn Muslim stinking camel jockey eating bastard came into the picture and caused all type of confusion. And that's the trickery with Islam, because a lot of people look at it and they said, yeah, they got structure, they got discipline and all that. Yeah, that's true. But you could be structured and disciplined all you want. But if the Lord didn't build that house, it's not going to prevail. The Lord didn't build that house, it's not going to truly prosper. Right? You're building it in vain. You could build that temple all you want, but you're building it in vain. You're not building the house of Yahweh Hashem Shah. Right? It says, nor thy fathers have known even wood and stone. Now, the parable and the symbology with this verse right here, the wood symbolized the Christian cross, right? Which was tying into Christianity. right? And the stone is symbolized the Kaaba stone, which ties into what? To Islam, right? So once again, we go back to this page right here. Let's see. Go back to this Facebook, right? So even wood and stone. So just showing y'all a quick example. The stone right here is talking about is the Kaaba stone, right? The wood, once again, Cesare Borgia and Christianity. So it says all people will be following these type of customs and religions, right? And it's a trap right now, basically. Either you're going to be in Christianity and Jesus is white, Jesus is all love and all of this stuff, or you're going to be in Islam, you know, Allah and Muhammad, and it's all confusion. But all people are stuck in one or the other, and that's both confusion. And guess what? You're not in the right place because you're wasting your time building for the heathens instead of building your own people, your own nation, right? But the whole earth right now is celebrating this pagan holiday, relying on Abraham, on Father Abraham right now, right? Let's see what the brother said. Yeah, Khan, let's go back to this with the destiny swap. Let's go back to this part. Right, and that's the same thing that happened. Once they get close to you, they steal your identity. Now they want to kill you. That's what Muhammad did in the Book of Babylon and Timbuktu. He tried to force us to follow in the ways of Islam, and our people say we rather die than to follow in their ways, right? Slocky. So let me get this real quick.
Fully completed their mission, they're snake and rude. This is enough information about you to attempt a destiny swap. They will become more hostile and rude. This is also a time where they will attempt to replace you. If they feel that they have successfully completed their mission, their snake-like character will start to show. It may blindside you, but the reality is this was this person's character all along. This phase is similar to the discard phase in the narcissistic abuse cycle. Once someone believes they have successfully destiny swapped, they will discard the person they emulated. Those were the 5 signs someone is trying to destiny swap with you. If someone is trying to or has started destiny swapping attempts against you, take note of these signs. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.
All right, so let me show another example as well. Let me get this one as well. So let me go back to this video right here with the Eidaladha.
It was the ultimate test of faith, and without hesitation, Ibrahim submitted to Allah's will. He told his son about the dream, and astonishingly, Ismail, still a boy, said, "Do what you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, to be patient." They both walked to the place of sacrifice. Ibrahim laid his son down, and as he was about to carry out the command, Allah stopped him. It was only a test of obedience, a test of trust. And Ibrahim passed it with flying colors. Instead, Allah sent down a ram from the heavens to be sacrificed in Ismail's place. And from that moment on, Muslims remember this act of faith and devotion every single year during Eid al-Adha. On this day, Muslims around the world sacrifice an animal, usually a sheep, goat, cow, or camel, to honor that legacy. But it's not about the meat. It's about submission to God, gratitude, and charity. The meat is divided into 3 parts. One for your family, one for relatives and friends, and one for the poor. It's a time of giving, a time of sharing, a time of remembering that everything we have comes from Allah, and that faith sometimes means giving up what's most beloved to us. But Eid isn't just about sacrifice. It's also a day of celebration. Muslims dress in their best clothes, attend the Eid prayer in large gatherings, visit loved ones, give gifts, and spread joy. It's a moment of unity across nations, cultures, and languages. So
let me get Genesis chapter 1 real quick. Let me show you. We had Genesis 1. Let's get John chapter 1. Because once again, what they're talking about with Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael, the sacrifice, right? Let me show you this real quick. Because they said they would kill either sheep, it could be livestock, like sheep, lamb, goat, whatever, right? Now, once again, I'm going to show you how the connection. This is John chapter 1 and verse number 29. The next day, John seeth Yahushua coming unto him and saith, Behold, the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world, right? So that lamb that it was talking about, saying the Lamb of God is speaking about Yahushua. Now, let's go back to Exodus. When they're talking about a sacrifice. Exodus chapter 12. This is the Passover right here, right? Okay, here we go. This is the book of Exodus chapter 12 in verse number 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, and saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. So why did I stop right here? Because if you go back to the video when they say Eidaladha, right? I'm going to show you everything we did, man. They took everything, bro. Here we go. Go ahead.
instead, Allah sent down a ram from the heavens to be sacrificed in Ismail's place. And from that moment on, Muslims remember this act of faith and devotion every single year during Eid-al-Adha. On this day, Muslims around the world sacrifice an animal, usually a sheep, goat, cow, or camel, to honor that legacy. But it's not about the meat. It's about submission to God, gratitude, and charity. The meat is divided into 3 parts. One for your family, one for relatives and friends, and one for the poor. It's a time of giving.
You see, it says the meat is divided, one for family, one for relative and friends, and one for the poor. Now, if you go back to Exodus in 12, right? Look what it said about the lamb, because it's the same ones they're talking about. They say either a sheep, a goat, or a cow, right? The sacrifice. To tie back into the story with Isaac, but they saying for Ishmael in the Quran, which is a lot, right? It says this is what you do. If you have enough lamb and your next door neighbor don't got nothing, in verse number 4, and if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. The lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. He shall take it out from the sheep and for the goats. So what is it basically saying? If your next door neighbor ain't got no food, ain't got no lamb or whatever, you can break off portions for them as well too. You can share with them, right? The same thing we have for Passover, they stole that for their pagan holiday. The same customs, how we break bread with each other, we share with each other. This is what Ishmael took from us as a people, right? Now today in 2026, we're people that are selfish. We don't like to come together. We don't like to be as a team. We want to do everything by ourselves, individuals, right? But look how these nations, they taking everything we used to do as a people, as a custom, and they're prospering now more than ever compared to us. But they're still in our identity and still in our heritage, right? Now, let me get another one real quick with Tobit. Let's see. Let me show this another video. Let's see the book of Tobit. Here we go. Right here. Let's see. Tobit, KJV. All right, here we go, right here. All right, so this is the book of Tobit. Let me show you this. Genesis 22 and 13. Same as with the ram. Leviticus 11 and 4. Eat not the camel. It is said they shed a lamb, cow, or the camel. Right. That's a good point right there as well. Right. That's a good one right there as well. Leviticus chapter 11. All right. So let me get this one right here with the book of Tobit. Let me just show y'all this. That's a good point too as well. Yeah, Macabre was saying with Genesis 22, right? To show like with the video with the ram in the thicket. So literally everything we have in the Bible, they take it all. They take everything. Shalom, shalom, family. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Tobit chapter 1. So this is Tobit chapter 1, and we'll go to verse number, here we go, verse number 3. So it says, I, Tobit, have walked all the days of my life in the ways of truth and justice. I did many alms deeds to my brethren and my nation who came with me to Nineveh, into the land of Assyrians. And when I was in mine own country, in the land of Israel, being but young, all the tribe of Naphtali, my father, fell from the house of Jerusalem, which was chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, that all the tribes should sacrifice there, where the temple of habitations of the Most High was consecrated and built for the ages. All right, so this Tobit, give you a quick introduction, right? Verse 6, but I alone went often to Jerusalem at the feast, as it was ordained unto all the people of Israel by an everlasting decree. All right, so remember, when they was talking about with the Muslim, with the Hajj, the pilgrimage that they make to Mecca, Tobit was talking about I alone went to Jerusalem as the feast, at the feast as it was ordained unto all the people of Israel by everlasting decree, right? Same as in the book of Acts chapter 2, with Pentecost. The people traveled to Jerusalem on a Pentecost, right? Having the first fruits and the tenth of increase with that which was first shorn, and then I gave at the altar to the priests of the children of Aaron, right? So this basically, Tobit is basically telling you, you know, the orphans that he made, you know, charity and everything, right? He put his portion in for the nation of Israel, right? Now, verse number 10, and when we were carried away captives to Nineveh, all my brethren and those that were of my kindred did eat of the bread of the Gentiles, but I kept myself from eating because I remember God with all my heart. So this is also showing you what? The bread of the Gentiles also could symbolize what? You following in their customs, right? You following the ways of the heathens as well too. Like in the book of 2 Maccabees chapter, I think it was 2 Maccabees chapter 6. Our people was forced to follow in the customs of Bacchus, right? They was forced to follow in the ways of Bacchus, right? Now, verse number 15. Now, when Manasseh was dead, Sennacherib, his son, reigned in his stead, whose estate was troubled that I could not go into Media. And in the time of Manasseh, I gave many alms to my brethren and gave my bread to the hungry and my clothes to the naked. And if I saw any of my nation dead or cast about the walls of Nineveh, I buried him. So when this verse is showing you what? It's showing you the charity of our people, right? Even in Leviticus, it talks about with a harvest. When you got a harvest coming, like we was talking about with the Pentecost, Feast of First Fruits, the Lord was saying what? Don't take everything that falls off the tree, off the fruits and the vegetables that you have. The Lord told you to what? Leave some for the poor, right? So we always gave alms to our people. We always was charitable as a nation, as a people. We always considered the poor within our people, within our nation. Now, the same thing that we do, Ishmael take our customs and they want to be the same as us. They want to do the same exact thing as us. Same as them praying 5 times a day. They get that from us. The Lord said for us in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, pray without ceasing, right? Daniel prayed like 7 times a day. David prayed 7 times and even more. All throughout the scriptures, everything we did that was righteous, the Ishmaelites come in and they try to copy and paste, and then we get no credit for it, and then they want to put us as slaves. But now today, they celebrating Eidaladha, and millions of people celebrating it. Even our people, I bet people in Old Block, they celebrate like they always do, right? So what is happening? We're living in a world of lies and confusion. Let me see something. Let me get this one right. Let's get oh yeah, let me get one more video. The Abraham Accord. Abraham Accord. So let me show you this last video. This tying into the Abraham Accord. Let me see. All right, here we go. Right here. So this right here, this Trump had a recent meeting. He was trying to get Ishmael and them to join together, right? And he's talking about the Abraham Accord, right? He's talking about the Abraham Accord. So what they're basically trying to do, they're trying to mix Christian, Judaism, which is Amalek and them, right? And Islam. And they trying to say that's all part of the Abraham Accord, and we all got to come together. You know, because our forefather Abraham, remember, Abraham had Isaac and Ishmael. And then Isaac had Jacob, right? And Esau, right? So they trying to tie all that together to make it as one nation. But remember, the Lord said he only made the covenant only with the children of Israel. And he told us not to mix with these other nations. But now in 2026, Trump and the Edomites, they want the whole world to come together. And they'll even use our forefather Abraham, right, as the catalyst to try to unite the people together. But the Lord already told Abraham that he's going to be a father of many nations, but the seed, the everlasting seed, is going to come from Isaac onto Jacob, right? So that's where the separation came in. But these other nations, they're jealous because they didn't get that covenant, right? So like the video we showed earlier that was saying with destiny swapping, they want to be us so bad, but they can't, and they're mad, right? So let me show this other video right here, just to give you a better example.
Wednesday and urged him diplomatic overture. U.S. President Donald Trump met with interim Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara in Saudi Arabia on Wednesday and urged him to pursue normalization of ties with Israel. Trump said al-Shara had agreed to join the Abraham Accords and eventually recognize Israel, but Syria hasn't confirmed that. Trump, in his speech in Riyadh on Tuesday, expressed hope that Saudi Arabia would soon join the Abraham Accords and recognize Israel while acknowledging that it would do so in its own time. Saudi Arabia long has maintained that recognition of Israel is tied to the establishment of a Palestinian state along the lines of Israel's 1967 borders. The Abraham Accords are landmark agreements brokered by the United States in 2020 that normalize diplomatic relations between Israel and several Arab nations, including the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco.
These accords are basically, normalizing relation between Arab states with Israel. Diplomatic, political, and economic cooperation between these countries, what they call it, this will help establish peace in the region. So Americans, this was proposed by the Americans, and Americans are promoting it. Israel is one of the most trusted ally of the United States, and since Americans are plan to withdraw from this region, their forces, and they want Israel to provide protection or cooperation and military support to these countries. These countries are weak and dependent on United States for security. So this accord becomes very important for Israel and for Americans.
The Abraham Accords marked a significant shift in Middle East geopolitics as the signatories recognized Israel without waiting for a resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Accords are named after Abraham, a revered patriarch in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, making him a unifying figure across the three main...
You see that? A patriarch revered by Jews, Christians, and Muslims, right? So these heathen, they will try by any means necessary to try to sneak their way into our covenant, right? They already got, and look, all four of them got that contract. They made the signature signs and everything. They already got a blessing from the Lord. Ishmael, his blessing that the Lord said he will make him a great nation, 12 princes. They got the oil, they got the riches, they got billions of dollars and all of that stuff. They got their own country and everything, right? Esau, we already know what Esau's blessing is. The Lord said he's going to bless him with the sword to commit war all throughout the earth. He's ruling right now. This is his kingdom right now, and he's still falling right now. He's losing everything, power and all of that, right? Jews, who they tied into this, Amalek is running the whole thing. Look what Netanyahu went back and forth with Trump, right? A lot of Americans finding out that Netanyahu and Israel, the Israelis, are the one that's actually running America. That's why Tucker Carlson's on their behind, questioning them. Hey, are you the real Jews? Well, why we don't just take a blood test? Let's see. And the Amalek like, whoa, like, hold on, what are you talking about? Hell, no, we don't need to do none of that. Whoa, we don't need to do none of that. Right? Their lies are starting to be exposed now in these times. So they're like, by any means necessary, for the Jews, the fake Jews, Amalek, the Christians, right, ties in with the Edomites and all of them. And they say America's supposed to be a Christian state and all of that, which is a damn lie, right? White Jesus. And then for the Muslims, tying in with Ishmael, even with the Iranians, because they all unified under Ishmael, which is with Islam. They all unified by that. Right, and Iran is speaking about the Persians. Iran speaking about the Persians, right? Saudi Arabia is speaking about Ishmael. But what happens with the Iranians and the true Ishmaelites, the Arabics? They all unified by the religion Islam, right? And then now they're trying to unify with Amalek, Esau, and Ishmael, and even the Persians as well. They're all trying to unify for this Abraham Accord. And guess who's not allowed in it? Who's not included in it? The actual Jews, the real chosen people of God, which is us, the blacks and Hispanics and the American. And they're using our forefather in the covenant that the Lord said with him unto our foreparents, the patriarchs, right? They're using that against us to kick us out of our own deal that the Lord made with us. Right?
Major religions.
Wicked as hell.
The agreements aim to foster cooperation of trade, technology, security, and tourism while presenting a united front against regional threats.
for a long period of time, the U.S. has, under Trump, has wanted to normalize, wanted Saudi Arabia to normalize with Israel, because that is really the big ticket reality of the Abraham Accords moving forward. The Saudis are part of IMEC, for example, the India-Middle East Economic Corridor, and that again heavily relies on the fact that Saudi and Israel normalize ties, so that trade and political contact can take place. So one of President Donald Trump likes big ticket deliverables, so he is pushing the Saudis under Mohammed bin Salman to sign that with Israel. Previously, the Saudis have made it very clear that signing of any such agreement or accord with Israel is reliant on the Palestinian issue and sort of how that moves forward.
The significance of the Abraham Accords lies in their potential to reshape regional alliances and open new economic opportunities. Experts suggest the Accords could also benefit India by fostering deeper cooperation between India, the Middle East, and Europe.
What if you could clean your retainer at the touch of a button? No more brushing or tablets. Over 4 years ago, our team of engineers knew there had to be a quicker, easier.
So the Abraham Accord is another version of Psalms 83. That's basically what that is.
What are the Abraham Accords? Hi, I'm Joel Rosenberg, founder and editor-in-chief.
And let me show one more video. What was it? Iran. Relax. Chosen Lego. Okay. So this is a quick video. This one right here is talking about Iran, and Iran is killing America with these Lego videos. They going in right now, right? So Iran is basically telling the people that the blacks, the African Americans in America, we're the chosen people, basically, and they know that. They know we're the real Jews. They know we're the chosen people of God. And it's funny, everybody trying to cop a plea now because they know Yahushua coming. All right. Even the Pope, that damn bastard, the Pope talking about, I apologize for slavery. It's too late to apologize. The damage already done. The hell are you trying to apologize for? The damage, on behalf of my people, I apologize. Well, give us some damn reparations. And watch out, don't be our damn slaves or something. The damage is already done. You don't need to apologize no more. When Yahushua come, he's putting all you devils in chains. The damage already done. You know? Even the article, what was it? 123 countries. We was talking about it last month. 123 countries voted that us blacks, his so-called African-American people, have suffered the worst atrocity on this earth, which was a transatlantic slave trade. And we're going to include the Native and Seminole Indians and Northern Kingdom as well, too. Suffered the worst atrocity, the transatlantic slave trade. And 123 countries agreed to give us reparations, but only 3 countries disagreed emphatically. And guess who that was? That was Israel, which was Amalek, Netanyahu. That was America, which is with Trump in America, right? Babylon the Great, and also Argentina, right? And quiet is kept when people get some chance to do some research. Argentina is run by Amalek, right? So you got some of these heathens like, yo, they deserve to get their reparations. And Esau Amalek like, hell no. Right? But let me show y'all this. This is a quick video. Let's end it off with this. So this talking about us. This is where Iran put a video for. They've been going at America nonstop, throughout this war and everything. All right? Pope talking about, I apologize. All right. To them chains come. Let's get this real quick.
They said history started on a boat. Show us one. But the land remembers before the lie. Yeah. I was born in New Babylon. Hey, hey, concrete crown, but the roots stay strong. Drums in the dirt, hear the old gods humming on. I was born in New Babylon. Yeah. I was born in New Babylon. Flags wave high, but the ground tell truth. Blood in the soil, gold in the youth. They sold us the dream, never showed the proof. I was born in New Babylon. Born where the rivers bend like hieroglyphs. Mississippi mounds, astronomers and ships align with the stars. Equinox math, long before Wall Street drew lines on maps. Old McHeads with the Nubian face. Plus all kings carved time and place. They say mystery, I say erase. Black Earth story. U.S. states. Aztec calendars, new reset days. Cycles collapsed, then the world reborn blaze. Mayan zero, yeah. Math to advance while reinvented Europe's to feed the ocean's glance. They call it myth when it don't fit charts. But myth just means stolen parts. I walk on land with the memory heart. Every step beat like a drum in the dark. Taught me pilgrims, muskets, and prayer. Never taught who was already there. Never taught copper people mind by hand. Thousands of years deep in this land. I was born in New Babylon. Yeah. I was born in New Babylon. Empire talk, but the past stay long. Temples and Grand Canyons hear the hope of soul songs hum. I was born in New Babylon. Yeah. I was born in New Babylon. New name, same old throne, same old change. Just polished on this to appear chrome. They remix truth, call it unknown. Born in New Babylon. Yeah. I was born in New Babylon. Grand Canyon walls got temple scars. Caves cut straight, not made by stars. Hoppy elder said world's done past. 4 reasons past. Fourth one shaking, better learn fast. Navajo speak of the twin face age. Tech too loud, no respect for sage. When the web glows brighter than the sun, prophecy says the test begun. Yeah, they talk Atlantis like it's fantasy. But flood myths match globally. From Kemet to Andes peaks, same story told in different speech. Machu Picchu clouds kiss stone, city and sky not built alone. Ley lines hum where the falcon flew. Energy grids they never taught you. Thoth wrote wisdom, words not chains. Nimrod built towers, lost his name. Babylon, angels, bricks and flame. It's any system selling power over brain. Grandmama said, boy, this land got bones. Every road paved over our ancestors' homes. If you don't know where you stand, you'll die defending the lie, not yours, fam. Now it's drones in the sky, ads in my sleep, gold in the clouds, souls for cheap. They call it freedom, but the meter runs. Same plantation, following a different sun. Amaru blood, indigenous ground, 2 roots twisted, still unbound. They split us up to keep us weak, while the land itself speak America dressed like Rome in declines past. Fourth one shaking. Words not chains. Nimrod built towers, lost his name. Babylon, angels, bricks and flame. It's any system selling power over brain. Grandmama said, boy, this land got bones. Every road paved over our ancestors' homes. If you don't know where you stand, you'll die defending the lie, not yours, fam. Now it's drones in the sky, ads in my sleep, gold in the clouds, souls for cheap. They call it freedom, but the meter runs. Same plantation, following a different sun. Amaru blood, indigenous ground, 2 roots twisted, still unbound. They split us up to keep us weak, while the land itself speak America dressed like Rome in decline. Circus loud, bread refined, but prophecy say when mass fall down, truth rise up from the underground. Not ashamed, not confused. I know the lies and I choose the truth. Yeah. I was born in New Babylon. Yeah. Ancient land with a brand new corn. From Mount to Mike, I carry on. Babylon, I know we from the north in sacred spot. Yeah. I was born in New Babylon. Yeah.
Right. So Iran literally created that Lego video that we just watched right now. Right. And what is happening, like I was saying earlier, truth is being spread all throughout the earth now. Now these nations trying to copy plea, even with Russia, with Vladimir Putin, when he showed the Russian icons that he showed Christ as a black man, right? That was about 2 years ago, right? So now the lies that people has been hiding for so long, truth is starting to be exposed now in these times. And with Iran, why didn't they tell people that we were the Jews the whole time? Why they wait till there's a war with them in America and now they want to expose the truth? You see what I'm saying? Same as with Russia. Why Russia didn't tell the people the whole time that we was the real Jews? Why they wait till they get to a war with America and now they want to tell people that we're the real Jews and that Christ is a black man? You see, because that's Psalms 83. These nations had no problem keeping us in darkness, lying to us, as long as they're profiting off of us, keeping us as slaves. They had no problem until they had an issue with each other. You know, because Esau is a devil you can't trust. He never keeps his promises. Once he started attacking these nations, Moab, Ammon, and even Putin and all of them stuff, and Ishmael and all of that, Then they say, all right, now we got the cats out the bag, right? We can't have no more deals with you like in Obadiah, right? The confederacy that they had. Enemy that was at peace with thee, he laid the wound under thee, coming to the same table. Now they going back and forth and arguing and starting wars with each other. Now they want to expose that we're the real Jews the whole time. And remember, like I said in Genesis, those that bless Abraham and his seed shall be blessed. But it wasn't just talking about Ishmael. No, it was speaking about from Isaac onto Jacob, the real Jews, the chosen people of God, right? So from there, let me show you this last picture. This is the picture I was looking for. Babylon to Timbuktu, the Islam deception. Why do so many Israelites follow Islam? Do they not know its origin? Just the one right here. Author is Rudolph R. Windsor. After Muhammad became a camel driver, he traveled to remote and intriguing lands. He led his caravans to Persia, Syria, and Egypt, transacting business with merchants of every kind. On his business trips, he met Jews, Christians, and members of other sects. He interrogated them concerning the tenets of their religions. He frequented the environment of the Jews and their rabbis, mostly because they were merchants and an omnipresent ethnic group. Because he could not read or write, his ears were attentive and keen to everything that the Jews related to him. Muhammad learned and extracted much from the Jewish religion and compounded it with his new religion, Islam, right? And that's like we was talking about earlier with that video with destiny swapping. They'll get close to you once they learn everything they need to learn about you, how you do things, your system, like with us with the laws and the commandments and everything. Took what they got from us, copied and pasted, and created their own thing, which was Islam. Right? Let me see this. Slack here. So he spent a lot of his time learning the laws of the Torah and the Tanakh. No doubt this was where he found out that his ancestors were from Ishmael. Right? And that's where in Genesis chapter 15. I think it's 15. Incidentally, by this time, the Hebrew Old Testament had been translated into Arabic, and the Arabs were rapturously pleased to read about their great ancestors and the story of the Hebrew patriarchs. This fact alone helped Muhammad to inspire in the Arabs the feeling of nationalism and racial pride, because they had read in the Hebrew scriptures that Ishmael was to become a great nation. Right? That's in the book of Genesis. The Lord says he's going to make him a great nation. But that's it. It was because of this pride that he went on to describe himself as a prophet, when the Quran clearly states that the prophets are and will always be from Isaac, right? Let's get that one quick precept real quick. Amos 3 and 7. There we go. Amos 3 and 7. It says, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, right? So the Lord's servants is the prophets, right? Now, Amos chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, and I raised up of your sons for prophets and of your young men for Nazarite. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel, saith the Lord? All right? So the prophets are the children of Israel. That's what the Lord was only dealing with. Right? The chosen, the servants are the children of Israel. What was the other one? Isaiah 44. Here we go. Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 1. It says, yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, who I have chosen. Right? So the prophets, the chosen people, are only the children of Israel. And let's get one more. Romans chapter 9. Romans chapter 9 and verse number 4. It says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants, the old covenant and the new covenant, right? And the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises. The giving of the law, the 613 laws, which was tied into the Torah, right? That was only given to the children of Israel. And the service of God, which is the servants of the Lord, which are the prophets, which is only us. And the promises, which is what? The promise of the kingdom of heaven and us having rulership and ruling all these nations that have put us into slavery and subjection, right? Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, God blessed forever. Amen. Right? So the Messiah, Yahushua, only came for the children of Israel. He didn't come for everybody else. Right? Let's see. Khan, shalom, shalom, family. Right, the Messiah only came for the children of Israel. Like in Matthew 15 and 24. He only sent for the lost tribes of the children of Israel. Let me get this picture right here. Last one. All right. So at the end of parts, into these parts where it says, and we bestowed on him, that's in the surah right there, 29 verse 27. Right, and we bestowed on him Isaac and Jacob and ordained among his offsprings prophethood in the book, and we granted him his reward in this life, and verily in the hereafter he is indeed among the righteous. Right, so that's speaking about us. Clearly, this tells you that the gift of the prophecy was ordained to the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Ishmael. It also tells you that his seed were given the Torah, so how could Muhammad be a prophet? If the religion of Islam was founded in the 7th century, Muhammad has been learning from the Israelites in the region, when they have naturally taught him of thy forefathers, Khan. And that's in Deuteronomy, where the Lord said, once we keep the laws and the commandments and our wisdom, wherever we travel, the nation's going to be looking at us, right? And say how wise these people are and how blessed they are to have a God, right? And the only living God, which is the God of Israel, which is Yahweh B'Shem Shai. All right. So these nations, they steal everything from us. We get no credit. We get no credit. We get no reparations and all of this stuff. And they don't give a damn about us. But they want to steal our feast days, our holy days. They want to remix it and create their own customs and all of this stuff. And millions of people is following it and keeping it. And like the Lord said in Isaiah 54, he said, they shall gather together, but not by me. Right? But when it comes to us as the children of Israel, the Lord said, gather together, O nation not desired, in Zephaniah 2 and 1. Right? So we're going to gather together as a nation. We're going to start to keep the laws and the commandments of God, keep our feast days and our customs. We just kept the Pentecost, which was a mighty Pentecost. We had a beautiful time. Right? We got an upcoming new moon that's coming out, what do you call it? June 14th. Right? June 14th will be the next new moon, more than likely. For us in Chicago, we got June 7th cookout. For those that are in the Midwest area, for HOI Chicago annual 5th June 7th cookout. Right? We got new moons on the 14th, June 14th. We also have Khan's, the oracles of Yahweh, Khan, like 1 Peter 2 and 9, and Isaiah 8 and 20, right? And what's the other one? 1 Peter 4 and 11, I think. Yeah, oracles of God. We also got what you call 4th of July, that's coming up. 4th of July rebuke. So once again, we have June 7th. For those of Chicago and the Midwest, we have the cookout. June 14th, we will have the new moon feast day. And we have the 4th of July event that's coming up for the rebuke. So this brother Ahrayah, hopefully brothers and sisters was edified. Most High we're working on like a part 2 and 3 with these type of lessons. You know, pertaining to Islam and Ishmael and all of that stuff. But today was about Eidaladha, you know, which was a celebration that happened yesterday. And it's just based off of lies. Our people celebrating things of lies and not realizing that we're the real Jews, and every nation on this earth is partaking in deception, partaking in trickery, you know, while the children of Israel still out here in America suffering. But days gonna come, family, and we're gonna get our just due from Yahweh B'Shem Shai, and bring justice and judgment unto the wicked of this earth and the heathens, and put their behinds in slavery. You know, so with that, all praise Yahweh B'Shem Shai, brothers and sisters was edified, and Kwam Yeshua. We're gonna close out with the Lord's Prayer. Kala Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Chakadash, Shemai Yasharallah, Yahweh Allah Hainawa, Yahweh Ahad. Abinawa Shabashimayim Kudashaya Shamka Yahweh Malakov God Aratazaka Haya Esha Baratazak Wahaya Bashamayim Natananawa Laham Hayuam Wasalachnawa Habawafnawa Kasalachnawa Habawafnawa Walahat Biainawa Banasayawan Bal Hawashainawa Mayan Rai Kayalaka Hamalakwa for Allah Watabaraf Lai Walamyam Amen. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our debts, we forgive our debtors, and lead us not in temptation, for thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. There's the curse prayers for Ishmael and the heathens. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Shalak Rayim wa Anashim wa Abadim Haragim wa Mashapatim al-Kala Adawamim al-Kala Ishmael wa Gawamim wa Ayabyabnu wa Babkasha Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Dwar Dor Babulam. Amen. We come to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Please bring death and destruction and wrath and righteous judgment upon the Edomites and also upon all the Ishmaelites and those that have tried to oppress us and try to take advantage of us as a people in the last days, as the lost tribes of Israel throughout the four corners of the earth. Bring judgment upon them. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, also to deliver us that are oppressed by our enemies and to strengthen us in these times to be warriors of God, to be children of Zion in these times to overcome our trials and tribulations. The water, the Wabba Balam. Amen. Khan family. So with that, I'll praise Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai and Kwame Yashala.
This is the book of Job, chapter 11 and 14. If iniquity be in thy hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles.
I caught a demon in my house and cast it out on sight. That's why they hate on Yasharala, cause we shine that bright. Them other nations in the dark and we the children of light. Yeah, we the salt of the earth and yeah, we breaking the curse. And we rehearse the righteous acts cause we ain't trying to get murked. And yeah, this truth is gonna heal you, but at first it gon' hurt. That's why you see us in the field putting in laborers work. Feet in the block with that manna that came from heaven with mirth. We lit like frankincense. Yeah, we them ancient men. We lit like 7 candlesticks. Confess my faults, no secret sin. They on the outside looking in, peeping in, peeking in. They thinking about sneaking in, but we perceive thoughts. And obey what we been taught. Okay, my riches stored in heaven. I don't lock it in a vault. Standing on my father's business. Yeah, I walk it how I talk. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world, I done fought and knocked them out. With my sword, about to cut their heads off. They put up Planned Parenthood, but couldn't cut the eggs off. So we scramble up their brains while they drunk off eggnog. Babylon was Big Wolf, now it's just a dead dog. America, the mother of harlots. The saints gon' take the kingdom, that's gon' happen regardless. Yeah, how was Shai coming, garment like red carpet. Brought this truth to their ear, but they still didn't hearken. I caught a demon in my house and cast it out on sight. That's why they hate on Yasharala, cause we shine that bright. Them other nations in the dark and we the children of light. Yeah, we the salt of the earth and yeah, we breaking the curse. And we rehearse the righteous acts cause we ain't trying to get murked. And yeah, this truth is gonna heal you, but at first it gon' hurt. That's why you see us in the field putting in laborers work. Feet in the block with that manna that came from heaven with mirth.
Yasha, Allah, Yada, Awa, Abba. Now the wicked in me dwelling, can't invite them to me. Cops, it's a different service, sir. We be feeling hurt, not on purpose. Who telling the realest verdict? You heard me, Yasha, the attorney. From Frashana, Johnny, Cochran, Judah, follow the dot. America moving kinda Sodom. I think we got a problem. Never did no Gucci, no the Balenciaga. But keep the sword for that beef. This Nehemiah when Benny Hanna. Got my Apocrypha, Phantoms of the Opera. Revelation 2 and 9. It's toxic to imposters. One is out locked up. Ain't that how they brought us? The sinners and slave owners. Ain't that they forefathers? Take a breath, the labor is set. The scripture, the plug. Let's pray all connect. Keep for all haters, yep, I bet I make them sweat. 12 tribes, 12 gates. Go occasion on the flesh. I
caught a demon in my house and cast it out on sight. That's why they hate on Yasharala, cause we shine that bright. Them other nations in the dark and we the children of light. Yeah, we the salt of the earth and yeah, we breaking the curse. And we rehearse the righteous acts cause we ain't trying to get murked. And yeah, this truth is gonna heal you, but at first it gon' hurt. That's why you see us in the field putting in laborers work. Feet in the block with that manna that came from heaven with mirth.
Y'all ready? We laboring
savoring, that's what they savoring, that Torah dressing. And with the motion in the flesh, my Abba do the flexing. No wavering, step out that boat, I had to catch the wave. Brown and Reed, script BP, this that point break. When I went up, I let it go, I didn't pump fate. That episode real Yahusha, so I'm throwing trays. Steady killing, protecting what he bestowed to me. I'm locked in, my radar detect the foolery. I'm big chillin', resting on the 5 deuce. This that 7, no fit, but I toss quick. Precepts through the falsehood. Cue ball on the break, I like to earn, I ain't gotta take. Stay in my soldier gang, keep it groovy. In the bunkers with it to a duty. We got the adversary in the full Nelson. Bitch, that bread for the people, and you all welcome.
Caught a demon in my house and cast it out on sight. That's why they hate on Yasharala, cause we shine that bright. The mother nations in the dark, and we the children of light. Yeah, we the salt of the earth, and yeah, we breaking the curse.